Welcome to today's Catholic Daily Readings from Christus Dominus Bread of Life. A reading from the book of Exodus. In the third month of the departure of Israel from the land of Egypt, on this day they arrived in the wilderness of Sinai. For departing from Rephidim and arriving at the desert of Sinai, they encamped in that place, and there Israel pitched their tents opposite the mountain. And the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I will come to you in the midst of a cloud, so that the people may hear me speaking to you, and so that they may believe you continuously." Therefore Moses reported the words of the people to the Lord, who said to him, "Go to the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their garments, and let them be prepared on the third day. For on the third day the Lord will descend, in the sight of all the people, on Mount Sinai." Then on the third day, when morning had arrived, there were thunder and lightning, and a very dense cloud upon the mountain, and the sound of the trumpet was exceedingly loud. And all the people who were in the camp were fearful. And Moses led the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stood at the base of the mountain. Then all of Mount Sinai was smoking, for the Lord had descended over it with fire, and the smoke ascended from it, as from a furnace, and the entire mountain was terrible. And the sound of the trumpet gradually increased to be louder, and it extended for a longer time. Moses was speaking, and God was responding to him.
Glory and praise forever. Blessed are you, O Lord, the God of our fathers. Praiseworthy and exalted above all forever. And blessed is your holy and glorious name. Praiseworthy and exalted above all for all ages. Glory and praise forever. Blessed are you in the temple of your holy glory. Praiseworthy and glorious above all forever. Glory and praise forever. Blessed are you on the throne of your kingdom. Praiseworthy and exalted above all forever. Glory and praise forever. Blessed are you who look into the depths from your throne upon the cherubim. Praiseworthy and exalted above all praiseworthy and glorious, forever. Glory and praise
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. And his disciples approached and said to him, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" Responding, he said to them, "Because it has been given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but it has not been given to them. For whoever has, it shall be given to him, and he shall have an abundance. But whoever does not have, even what he has, shall be taken away from him. For this reason I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. And the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled in them, which says, Hearing you shall hear, and you shall not understand, and seeing you shall see, and you shall not perceive. For the heart of this people has grown fat, and with their ears they hear heavily, and they have closed their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and be converted, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. Amen, I say to you, many prophets and just men have desired to see what you see, and they have not seen, and to hear what you hear, and they have not heard. Join us for today's reflection. God has just invited you to meet him on a mountain. It sounds like an incredible privilege, an intimate encounter with the divine. Then you read the fine print, be ready for the third day, because on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. What happens next is terrifying. Thunder and lightning, dense cloud, loud trumpet blast that grows louder and louder. The whole mountain trembles violently. Smoke billows up like from a furnace because the Lord descends in fire. This isn't the gentle, accessible God we often imagine. This is the holy, untouchable, overwhelming God whose presence is so intense that touching the mountain means death. The people are so frightened they beg Moses to speak to God for them rather than have God speak to them directly. They can't handle the unfiltered presence of the Almighty. Yet in today's gospel, Jesus tells his disciples, "Blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear." He's saying that what the disciples are experiencing, intimate conversation with God incarnate, is the fulfillment of what prophets and righteous people longed for but never experienced. The same God who descended on Mount Sinai in terrifying holiness has now descended into human flesh in approachable love. The mountain that couldn't be touched without death has become the person who invites touch for healing. But here's the paradox. Even though Jesus makes God accessible, most people still can't see him for who he is. The disciples ask why Jesus speaks in parables, and he explains, "Because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them." This seems unfair at first. Why would God hide truth from some people while revealing it to others? Why would he make his message unclear through parables instead of speaking directly? The answer lies in the Mount Sinai experience. When God revealed himself directly, it was too much for people to handle. The Israelites couldn't bear his unfiltered presence. They needed a mediator, someone to stand between them and the overwhelming holiness of God. Jesus is that mediator, but he's also more than that. He's God made approachable without being made small. He's divine holiness wrapped in human gentleness. He's the burning mountain contained in accessible flesh. But even in this approachable form, seeing God requires spiritual eyes and hearing God requires spiritual ears. The same divine presence that once caused mountains to quake and people to tremble is now standing in their midst, but they mistake him for just another teacher, just another prophet, just another man. The parables aren't meant to hide truth from those who are genuinely seeking. They're meant to reveal truth to those whose hearts are open while protecting truth from those who would misuse it. It's the same principle as Mount Sinai. God's presence is both invitation and warning. Those who approach with reverence and faith find access to mysteries that prophets and kings longed to understand. Those who approach with casual curiosity or hostile intention find stories that seem simple on the surface but leave them unchanged. The dangerous invitation of Mount Sinai, come close to God but respect His holiness, becomes the dangerous invitation of the gospel, receive the kingdom of heaven but be transformed by it. The disciples are blessed not because they're more intelligent or more deserving, but because they've accepted the dangerous invitation to follow Jesus without knowing where it leads. They've left everything to be close to God, and their closeness has opened their eyes and ears to divine truth. The crowds, on the other hand, come for the miracles and entertainment. They want the benefits of God's presence without the commitment of God's lordship. They want healing without transformation, blessing without surrender, answers without discipleship. So Jesus speaks in parables, stories that reveal truth to hungry hearts while remaining mysteries to casual observers. The same words that unlock the secrets of the kingdom for disciples leave the crowds scratching their heads and walking away. This is still how God works today. His presence is both invitation and warning. He's accessible to those who approach with reverence and faith, mysterious to those who approach with casual curiosity or intellectual pride. The question isn't whether God is speaking. The question is whether you have eyes to see and ears to hear, whether you're willing to accept the dangerous invitation to come close to the holy God who loves you enough to make Himself approachable but not safe. The mountain still shakes when God comes down. The difference is that now He comes down not just on Mount Sinai, but into your heart, your circumstances, your ordinary Thursday afternoon. The thunder and lightning might be replaced by still small voices and gentle whispers, but the invitation remains the same. Come close to me, but remember who I am. The blessing is reserved for those who accept both parts of that invitation.